this as well, and I'm going to start by sharing my screen with you. And actually, I'm just going to show you where you can find information about all my handouts. It's on the bridgeclass.co website, .co.uk handouts. And down here, you'll see under bidding, you'll see a link to the Halmic defense. And that is a summary of the system slides, I think, from a previous talk. So you can refer to that and print that out today if you wish. So I'm going to go through the PowerPoint slides. So here is the summary of the system. It all fits on one page, and the Halmic defense is a very useful convention to play when your partner opens one no trump and it gets doubled. A double of one no trump is for penalties, normally showing at least 16 points or so. And if you have a weak hand, you're generally going to be in trouble. If you have a weak hand and just pass, you almost certainly won't make one no trump and will go down and suffer a nasty penalty. So I think it's a very good idea to have a system like the Halmic defense to defend against that. And the Halmic defense, I think, is one of the best systems. It allows you to deal with a hand where you're weak but have a long suit, or also to deal with a hand where you're weak and maybe have no long suit but 2 4-card suits. And you should be able to find some kind of fit with your partner in either situation. So this is basically how it works. If the one no trump is doubled, a pass by you expresses a willingness to play in one no trump doubled. Normally that would mean that you've got at least 7 points. If you think about it, your partner's got on average 13 for their one no trump. So if you have 7 or more, you have at least half the points, and you may well make one no trump double. Okay. If you don't have that, but have a long suit, the way you bid is you start by redoubling. The redouble is alertable, and it shows a weak hand with a single long suit, at least 5 cards. In response, your partner must now bid 2 clubs, also alertable, and then you pass if 2 clubs happens to be your suit. Otherwise, you bid your real suit, which partner is expected to pass. Okay, so that's how you try to end up in 2 of a suit if you have a long suit. And if you don't have a long suit but have 2 4-card suits with a weak hand, then you bid the lower ranking suit. We'll look at some examples of all of this, but for example, if you had hearts and diamonds, you would bid diamonds. And if your partner can support this suit, if they have 3 or more cards in that suit, they should generally pass. Otherwise, they bid the next suit up, which is also alertable, and then responder passes if that's his suit, or otherwise bids his second real suit. So we'll look at examples of all of this in a minute, and hope that will answer your question. Yes.
Why are these bids alertable if they're
That is going to be
suits?
my question.
Well, they're alertable because they show something specific. I did look this up, and although when you bid, for example, a 4-card suit, it's showing a real suit. The article I read, which was I think in one of the Bridge magazines, says it should be alerted because it shows something else about your hand. So 2 dimes, although it's a real bid, it should be alerted because it's showing something else as well. So because it shows something specific, what I read said it should be alerted.
So what do you actually say? I've bid my best suit, or what?
Oh, let's see. Well, so the redouble would be
yeah, the redouble's obvious.
Okay.
You have to alert
Yeah.
that. But
so
when you're just bidding your lowest ranking 4-card suit.
So you would say that's the lower ranking of 2 4-card suits. Okay. You would just describe that. Okay. So By the way, there are variants of this defence, and in fact, up until about a year ago or so, I'd learned a slightly different variant of this, and I was playing a slightly different variant. But this one I'm describing now is considered fairly standard, but there are other additions you can make to it. So I think this covers the vast majority of hands you'd like to bid, and is relatively simple. But there are other options that you may come across as well. So if you're playing with someone, you should someone new, you should make sure they are on the same wavelength as you. So let's have a look at a few examples of this. West here has a balanced one-no trump opening, and this is a kind of hand where North should be doubling. A double of one-no trump here is for penalties, and it typically shows a hand with at least 16 points. Here you've got a balanced 16 points. It doesn't necessarily promise a balanced hand. It could be a fairly distributional hand, still a hand that you think you could defeat one-no trump on. So it shows a variety of hands, but anytime you've got 16 or more points, you should double. And that's a penalty double. Now, East here is terribly weak, and you might think you should just pass here with 3 points, but you have very good hand to use the Halmic defense, and with 2 4-card suits, you bid the lower ranking one. So you bid 2 diamonds here, and again, if they ask you what that means, that you're saying that diamonds is your lower ranking 4-card suit. And West here, if they have 3 or more diamonds for you, they should pass. Okay, there's no absolute guarantee that we're going to find an 8-card fit here, but with 3 or more diamonds, you should just pass, and that may well be the end of the bidding there. You may play this in 2 diamonds. Okay.
Tony.
Yeah.
Does it matter in East where your high card points are?
Not really. I mean,
is it just length?
Yeah, it's just length. And what's important is, which I know beginners find difficult, and I know a lot of beginners with the East hand will automatically want to pass the East hand, but with a really weak hand, it becomes even more desirable to escape from one-no trump double. So with only 3 points, it's much better to try to bid something rather than let your partner play it in one-no trump doubled. With so few points, you'll do very badly in one-no trump doubled. And if you play it in 2 diamonds, first of all, you'll probably do a little bit better. And second of all, the opponents will find it hard to double you. If the opponents did double you in 2 diamonds, that would also be for penalty, and that would also be alertable. So double of a suit contract at a low level should also be alerted. But here, although North-South have got good hands between them, it's that they can't either of them really be certain they can defeat 2 diamonds, and you may get out without being doubled.
Okay, my next question is, what happens if you've got 2 5-card suits?
Okay, so if you have 2 5-card suits, I would recommend that you bid the lower ranking one. Okay, and you'll find a fit in one of them. If you have a 5-card suit and a 4-card suit, you can either treat it as bid the lower ranking one, or you can just try and play it in the 5-card suit, which we'll see in a minute. Let's continue with this. Perhaps we'll deal with some of the questions you might have. Let's suppose, again, the East hand is the same here. You bid 2 diamonds, and here West can't really support your diamonds. They've only got 2 cards in diamonds, so they bid the next suit up, which is hearts. Okay, so that's an automatic step response. And here, hearts happens to be your 2nd suit, so you pass that. And again, it's very hard for North-South to know whether they can bid or double 2 hearts. In fact, on this hand here, according to the computer analysis, if you let your partner play it in one no trump, it will probably go down 2, which would be a penalty of 300 or 500, depending on the vulnerability. Whereas if you can play it in 2 hearts, that will probably only go down 1, but it probably won't be doubled. It's very hard for North or South to know that they can defeat 2 hearts, and you may well end up playing it in that, which would only be a penalty of 50 or 100. Okay, any questions on that?
Yes, why doesn't South bid 2 no trumps?
Okay, so I mean, when you mean over the 2 hearts,
or even the 2 diamonds, either.
I mean, when your partner doubles 1 no trump, it could be a very wide range of hands there. I mean, it's 16 points, but you don't really know. It's not necessarily a flat hand like this. Now, I suppose you could bid 2 no trump, and then your partner could either pass if they're fairly flat, or if they had a long suit, they could bid that. So South might be tempted to bid something. Yeah, possibly 2 no trump, given that a partner showing at least 16. That might be a reasonable bid. They certainly shouldn't bid anything if East were to pass. So if it were to go 1 no trump double pass, then they would just happily pass. But yes, if it looked like the opponents were about to settle in a suit contract, then you might think about coming in with a bid at that point. Yes. Okay, let's have a look at another sequence. The East hand is the same here. 1 no trump double, 2 diamonds again. Here your 2 suits are diamonds and spades. And in response to the 2 diamond bid, West can't really support the diamonds, so they bid the next suit up, which is hearts. That's not your suit, so you bid 2 spades, and you end up in your spade bid there. Okay. Any questions on that?
Tony, why can't West say 2 hearts instead of 2? Why can't the West say 2 spades instead of 2 hearts?
Okay, so what you're meant to do, when your partner bids a suit after the double, they are showing 2 4-card suits, and they're bidding the lower ranking one. And you don't know which one it is. It might be diamonds and hearts, or it might be diamonds and spades. So when they bid 2 diamonds and you can't support that, you bid the next suit up without even looking at your hand, if you like, okay? Because they are either going to support your play it in hearts, or they're going to bid spades. You don't bid.
But what if only has 1 4-card suit? Then he should not bid.
Who's that?
Philip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposing East has only 1 card 4 suit.
Okay, so that's the one time that the Halmic defense doesn't really work. If your distribution is 4 3 3 3, okay, if you're very flat, then the Halmic defense doesn't work very well. Okay.
So then he should simply pass.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. There are variants of Halmic defense that will allow you to show that specific hand, a flat hand with 4 3 3 3. But I don't really want to go into that because that's another little tweak. Any other comments? Let's have a look at this one. Here, the 1 no trump is doubled, and here you've got a 5-card suit. So you start by redoubling, alertable, and your partner in response must bid 2 clubs, also alertable. If clubs happen to be your suit, you would pass that, but here it's not, so you're going to bid 2 hearts. By the way, when the opponents, when East-West start bidding 2 clubs here, North should probably double that, because if they are about to settle in 2 clubs, you, with good clubs, you've got 4 clubs as well as 18 points, would like to say, I'm prepared to double 2 clubs. So a double of 2 clubs here is saying, okay, they're trying to find a suit here, and if they want to go to clubs, I'm prepared to double that. However, of course, East bids 2 hearts, as they were planning to bid all along. And here, North-South can't really be that certain of what to bid here. Neither of them have very good hearts, and they can't be sure that they're going to defeat 2 hearts, and I'm not quite sure what else they might bid here. So East-West may get away with 2 hearts undoubled on that one. Okay, I think they wouldn't make it. They're probably going to go down 1, but it'll be better than 1 no trump.
So Tony, why can't East just show the 5-card suit as 2 hearts instead of redoubling?
Okay, so if you've decided to play the Halmic defense, 2 hearts would show that you have 2 4-card suits, hearts and spades here, because you bid hearts. Okay, so you have to decide whether you want to play this convention or not. All right.
All right. Okay.
Any other questions? So this is how you show a single suited hand, by redoubling and then bidding your suit. Let's have a look at a couple more examples. Here it's gone 1 no trump double, and again with a very weak hand you bid 2 diamonds, and here it's South who's got a pretty good holding in diamonds. South, you've got 7 points, you expect your partner to have 16. So with the majority of the points and pretty good diamonds here in the South hand, 4 diamonds, you should make a penalty double in case the opponents are going to try to play this in 2 diamonds. I think it says, you have good holding in diamonds as well as reasonable points. Now, West, of course, doesn't have support in diamonds, so they bid the next 4 card, the next suit up, which is 2 hearts, and that is happens to be East suit, so he passes, and it goes pass. Now, South on this hand, I think should bid something, because he knows that they've got the balance of points between North and South. He knows they're trying to escape into 2 hearts. He can't really double, which would be a penalty double, but with a reasonable 5-card spade suit, he can bid 2 spades. Okay, so you don't have to let the opponents play. There are hands where you may be able to double them. There are hands where you can't really double them, and maybe you'll bid your own suit here, and maybe you'll end up playing this one in 2 spades. Okay, I think on this one, the computer says that 2 hearts would go down by 1 trick, and 2 spades could make +2, or it would depend on how you play the diamonds. You have to guess how to play the diamonds correctly. But you should make at least 2 spades, and obviously that would be better than just defeating 2 hearts by 1 trick. Any comments on that? How about this one? 1 no trump, pass by North. Can East bid anything here?
No.
Not really. Yeah, I mean, if you try to start bidding things, you'll probably get into trouble here. So just pass. There's been no double, so you can't use a Halmic defense. But here it's South who's got the good hand. South has got 17 points, so he should start with a double. South should start with a double of 1 no trump. So if it goes double here, if it then goes pass, now East can use the Halmic defense here, because the 1 no trump has been doubled. And now you've got 2 4-card suits, so you bid the lower ranking one 2 clubs. Okay, you're trying to find a fit in either suit. And if it goes, if you do bid 2 clubs, South here with a long spade suit does not really want to allow the possibility of the opponents playing in 2 clubs, and might well decide to bid 2 spades here. So by bidding this way, you're really showing your partner that you've had a good hand in terms of points, and also that you've got a good spade suit, and you don't really want to let the opponents play in 2 clubs, which might only go down a trick or so. So you can, if you bid here, you're obviously avoiding the you're saying, well, I want to bid something on this hand because I've got a distributional hand, and I don't want to let the opponents play in 2 clubs if that's where they're headed. Okay, so on this one you'd bid 2 spades, and you'd almost certainly make 2 spades. I don't think you've got enough for game, but it's better than letting the opponents play in 2 clubs.
Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. In the 4th position, could South double with less points, like 14 points?
Okay, there's a bit of background noise at the moment. I'm going to just try and mute you. Let me just mute you all. I don't know where that's coming from. Right. Okay. Yeah, you'll have to unmute yourselves if you want to ask a question again.
Sorry, yes, it's pretty.
Yeah.
In the 4th position, if you're doubling, can you double with less than 17 points?
I would say not really. The hand you will have in 4th, if you're doubling in the 4th position here, might be a little bit different, because it should tend to be a more balanced hand, but it should still show something like 16 points. After it's gone 1 no trump and there's been 2 passes, you don't really know where the points are. You don't really know whether your partner's got more points than whether it's north or east here who's got more points. But you're doubling on the expectation that you've got more points than the opponents, and so you should pretty much have 16 points in either position. I don't recommend doubling on, for example, 12 or 14 points even, because who knows who's got more points. In fact, one thing I should mention is that the idea of doubling with 16 points is closely related to the idea that you have more points than the opponents, and you hope that on average your side will have more points than them. If the opponents are playing a strong no trump, say 15 to 17, then most people would recommend that you have to have more points than the opponents in order to double. In other words, if they're playing 15 to 17 no trump, which robots and other people do, you should have at least more points than them, more like 18 points, or 17 or 18 points to double. Because if you double with just 16 points, it's then a sort of 50-50 as to which side is more likely to have more points. Okay.
Tony?
Yeah.
Just a quick query. The EBU red book says double with 15, but you would not recommend that. 15 to 17 it says, or 15
plus. That's you're thinking of the 1 no trump overcall, Kate.
No, I'm not. It actually says in the red book, penalty double with 15.
Okay. Well,
but you wouldn't do that.
Well, I would certainly do it with some hands with 15 points, I think most people. Well, I've not come across that. I would think it should normally show 16 or more points.
I mean, it could easily. We know what the red book's like. It could easily be a mistake in the red book.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought. Okay, but you're not thinking of the 1 no trump overcall, are you? Showing 15 to 17.
I actually have the book open, and it definitely says 15.
Right. Okay, all right, okay. Well, okay, that's up to you. I don't know how common that would be. I know they've tended to decrease sort of point ranges in recent years to be a bit more aggressive in the bidding. But I think I'd still recommend 16 or 15, or could be slightly less if you think you've got a good chance to defeat 1 no trump. Maybe you've got a good opening lead, like a long suit.
Thank you.
But thank you for bringing that to my attention, Kate. I'll look that up.
Tony?
Hello.
It's Ruth.
Hi, Ruth.
I just wanted to check something with you. I know that a 1-no trump is 12 to 14. I mean, if you had one more point, an even distribution, would you say 1-no trump, or let it come round the second round after a partner has bid, and then you say 1-no trump, which is indicating what, 15, 16 points?
Yeah, I suggest you don't bid unless you have exactly 12 to 14
Right,
points.
okay.
I mean, yes, you can use your judgment and upgrade or downgrade some hands. So,
I mean, for example, if you had a jack of spades instead of the 6, that's your 15 points.
yeah. Well, you can do that, and I mean, some people will use their judgment to upgrade or downgrade their hand. I'm not necessarily recommending that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's just look at another one. What about this one? Here it's gone 1-no trump double by North. And what do you think he should bid on this hand? Would you unmute yourselves and tell me what you think?
Pass.
Pass, yes. When your partner opens and you've got something like 8 points here, you should realize that you probably have the balance of the points here. And you should not use the Halmic defense. You should just pass, and with the expectation that your partner will be able to make 1-no trump double, which should be a good score for you. So you should pass with a hand like this, and obviously if South passes, that will be it, and you'll play 1-no trump double. On this hand, though, South, because they are very weak, they should realize that they may be in trouble in 1-no trump. Even though partner's got at least 16 points, you've only got 1 point there, and with the distributional hand, you should pull the double. Yes, you should bid 2 clubs on this hand. That shows a very weak hand, less than 4 points, and says, partner, I think they may well make 1-no trump, and so I'm pulling the double and trying to play it in 2 clubs ourselves. On this particular layout, the computer...
Tony, can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
It's Belinda. After the 1-no trump overcall by North, is two clubs by South? That's Stamen, is it not?
If there had been a 1-no trump overcall, but here there isn't a 1-no trump overcall.
Oh, sorry, it's double. Beg your pardon. Yeah, it's double. Beg your pardon.
Yeah, so this is a double, and I mean, some people may have more elaborate systems to escape here, but yes, over a double, generally you would pass with the South hand, but with a very weak hand and a long suit, you can bid your suit, and that's saying you'd rather play it in 2 clubs. And as I was saying,
what if South has 4 points?
Right. So if you're 4 points or more, you might be inclined to pass. Okay.
But 3 points and less, it's better to pass, to bid something.
Yeah. I mean, with the weaker your hand, the more desirable it is to escape, because with only 1 point, unless your partner happens to have a very good hand, they may well make 1-no trump. So you bid your... If you happen to have a long suit and a weak hand, then you can pull it. If your hand is balanced and you're weak, then there's nothing you can do. You'll just have to pass, and the opponents may make 1-no trump double. But on a layout like this, East does well to pass here, because according to the computer, East-West can make 1-no trump doubled, which would be a score of 180 to East-West. But on this hand, North-South can actually make 2 clubs, no more than that, but they can make 8 tricks in clubs. So South does best to pull the double and play it in 2 clubs.
Why would West and East allow them to play in 2 clubs?
Right. How do you think it should go after that?
I don't know. I was thinking about that. Maybe
think-
the East hand could bid 2 diamonds.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't think East West have got any game their way. Maybe they'd be able to make 2 no trump, but you know, they're a bit vulnerable in clubs, I would say.
Yeah.
I reckon 2 diamonds might make.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Tony, we got into a lot of trouble yesterday with all of this.
Yes.
Because yesterday's lesson was very similar.
Yes.
I got into a lot of trouble with my partner.
Oh no. Well, I can't really comment on that here, but
Okay.
if you want to, you know, ask me about a particular hand, let me know.
Yeah.
And I'll try and answer it. But obviously, you know, in bridge, one side's trouble is the other side's gain, isn't it? So, but yeah, you know, I think the main thing is try to escape from 1 no trump double, especially with a weak hand, and the weaker your hand, the more you should be trying to escape from it. And if you have a reasonable hand like this, 8 points, then don't escape from it. And, you know, you may be able to play it in 1 no trump. But if you have any other questions about it, do let me know. I think it's really desirable to have a system like this, or you can suffer a very bad penalty in 1 no trump double a lot of the time. Any other comments? I think that's the end of the talk there. Anyone have anything else to ask about? I'll just bring up the that summary, which, as I said, you can see on the website as well.
Until do you know it?
I know it.
Anyone have any questions they'd like to ask? So that'll be it then. Do join the games. I've opened up both games, and see you online in a few minutes.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you all very much.
Bye.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.